creating good interest for story and also mechanics alike. Ultimate encounters are the most difficult encounters in MMOs today. They are extraordinarily hard. The Dragon Song has a 120-page guide, and unlike World of Warcraft, are not affected by gear.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fucking ridiculous. I got into one of these groups not knowing what I was fully getting into. I just started Final Fantasy. I just got max level, and I wanted to like dip my toes into pretty much raiding, and it was like the end of Shadowbringers, so there was like a bunch of stuff going on, and I didn't realize that like there was all these different tiers and different stuff, and I didn't know what was what, because you know you get people that are just like PS8, PS this, da 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 da, and you're like, what's what, huh? No, and like sometimes they don't really like explain it to you, and I just was like, okay, oh, you're looking for somebody? Yeah, I'll join, and like I get in this group, and I think we practiced for 4 hours just to do the first like I want to say minute of the fight, just a minute, just to get that down pat. And it's mainly because like with Savage and whatnot, you get to immediately you get to step out and you can fight, and sometimes like if you lose a people or you make mistakes, you don't initially wipe. Sometimes you actually get to see a little bit more of the fight. uh but with this content, yeah, it's pretty much like you step out, you barely see a mechanic, and you die. And then it's like, okay, that's what the mechanic is. And it's like, okay. I mean, it's kind of the same with both, but I feel like some of the stuff's a little bit Savage is a little bit more forgiving. This is not at all. And it's a lot more mechanics. So usually with most of the Savages, they tend to like introduce one mechanic at a time, and then like the fight kind of gets like some of the fights halfway through like become like a jumble mess of a whole bunch of stuff going on, which makes it fun. But yeah, no, it's crazy that when I jumped into this and didn't realize what I was getting into and realized how much was going on, and I just was like, wait a minute, what am I getting out of this? I'm doing all this work just to get a weapon, and I didn't even like the weapon at the time, so I quickly apologized and was like, this is not what I signed up for. Good luck. And it wasn't like they was a bad team. Like they was doing pretty good, and we was making progress. It was just it was a lot.
Later, a video began circling the web showing the final moments of the kill, and that video was to be their ruin. Take a look at this screenshot and see if you can tell what caused the outrage.
Zoomed out.
The keen-eyed will have noticed a damage meter in the corner of the
I didn't
screen,
even notice
but that's
that.
not actually the problem. The camera is zoomed out way further than the game allows.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, the ultimate encounters are not gear dependent.
As a person that wants to zoom out that far, I know. I mean, the game does allow you to zoom out okay amount. But it also is kind of nice because it does allow you to what I do is you can hold down like Control Alt like Z, I think, and it allows you to like move, or maybe it's just Control and another button. Anyways, um it allows you to like shift your camera up, so you can pretty much put the camera at like a better angle. So instead of like you just kind of centering on like the middle of your character's body, it's more centered on I have my hands up as if you guys could see this, but you know, hopefully one day when I get motion stuff you can. But you could pretty much put it at like your character's feet, and it makes it a lot easier to kind of see the arena. because a lot of mechanics are very much they'll have stuff like if you've seen, it was showing where something was on the outside of the arena about to shoot in, and it just makes it a little easier to be able to rotate and see. Because a lot of the encounters are very dependent on you being able to see what's about to happen next. And it's a little, even though you get call outs, it's better to be able to see it yourself. Being able to like zoom out this far very much makes it just so much more easier. You can just see stuff coming a mile away without having to like take that extra couple seconds to learn, I need to look around, which makes it easier, a lot easier.
In fact, they are very much puzzle-solving encounters. It could take nearly 2 days to progress 40 more seconds into the fight. Having the camera zoomed out way further than the game allows, this allows you to see every mechanic as it's happening in a far clearer way than is intended by the developers. Part of the difficulty is making sure that you are working together. Things that you might have seen are not things that other people might have seen, which means that if you can have all...
See, all right, how this guy is, you can see my mouse. He has it proper, right? If he has his camera, he could move his camera up, and which is what is a little easier to do, because sometimes, like, I'm pretty sure in this part of the fight it doesn't happen, but like when you're in, also this stage is very big, so it makes it extra more difficult. But you'll get like guys that will pop up like over here, and or like right up here, and unless you like tilt and move your camera that extra way, it makes it more difficult.
Those who are analyzing, figuring things out, trying to help out the team, making calls, posted a lengthy apology note on the matter as the leaked video came from his YouTube account. In that post, he confesses that the players were using third-party tools, but that wasn't the biggest point that we can take away from this confession. He goes on to explain their justification for doing it, and that is because of the influx of Western players into the competitive raiding scene. The Japanese raiding scene believed that the Western players were probably using third-party tools, and so they had to as well in order to remain competitive.
No.
He even mentions that some of the players on the team did not want to use...
Isn't it? Yo, that's a little racist. Or countryist. I don't like the it seems racist. I don't think it's exactly racist. It is like, I guess countryist is what they would be. What would probably be like I guess the better term, but yeah, no, that's fucked up. That they're blaming it on other like groups of people as their excuse. Like, look, these other people are cheating, so like we had to cheat. True for like some smaller groups that are not going for like world first, maybe blame other people for your mistakes.